Hello everyone, welcome to LBS IAS Academy. Today we are going to discuss Polity MCQs based on previous year UPSC questions. So let's start our session. Our first question is,
power to increase the number of judges in the Supreme Court of India is vested in options are President of India, Parliament, Chief Justice of India, Law Commission. Okay, answer to this question is option D, Parliament. The number of judges in the Supreme Court can be increased or decreased by the Parliament, by the legislature. So the answer to this question is option D. In the Constitution of India, promotion of international peace and security is included in options are Preamble, Directive, Principles of State Policy, Fundamental Duties, 9th Schedule. The answer to this question is option B, Directive, Principles of State Policy. Article 51 deals with promotion of international peace and security. Article 51 states that the state shall endeavour to promote international peace and security, maintain just and honourable relations between nations, foster respect for international law and treaty obligations in the dealings of organized peoples with one another, and encourage settlements of international disputes by arbitration. So her answer to this question is option D, DPSP. Which one of the following schedule of the Constitution of India contains provisions regarding anti-defection? Options are 2nd schedule, 5th schedule, 8th schedule and 10th schedule. The answer to this question is option D, 10th schedule. The anti-defection law punishes individual MPs or MLAs for leaving one party for another. Parliament added it to the Constitution as the 10th schedule in 1985. Its purpose was to bring stability to government by discouraging legislators from changing parties. The 10th schedule, popularly known as the Anti-Defection Act, was included in the Constitution by 52nd Amendment Act 1985. It sets the provisions for disqualification of elected members on the ground of defection to another political party. So her answer to this question is option D. Other than fundamental rights, which of the following parts of the Constitution of India reflect principles and provisions of Universal Declaration of Human Rights? Options are Preamble, DPSP, Fundamental Duties. Select the correct answer using the codes given below. Here answer to this question is option D, all the above. The objectives of Preamble such as justice, equality and liberty also reflect the principles of Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Hence, 1 is correct. DPSP provided under Article 36 to 51. DPSPs are the principles that aim at providing social and economic justice and set the path towards a welfare state. This DPSP act as obligation on state and are in consonance with human right. Hence, 2 is correct. Fundamental duties are basically civic and moral obligations of all citizens of India. As of now, there are 11 fundamental duties in India, which are written in Part 4A of the Constitution. Article 51A, subclause K talks about providing opportunities for education to the child between the age of 6 and 14 years by the parents or guardian. This aspect somehow relates to Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Hence, 3 is correct. So, her answer to this question is option D, all the above. In India, legal services authorities provide free legal services to which of the following types of citizens? Options are persons with an annual income of less than 1 lakh, that is correct. Transgender with an annual income of less than 2 lakh, that is correct. Member of other backward classes with an annual income less than 3 lakh, that is incorrect. All senior citizens, that is incorrect. Select the correct answer using the codes given below. Here, answer to this question is option E, 1 and 2 are correct. The National Legal Services Authority was constituted under the Legal Services Authorities Act 1987, which came into force on 1995 to establish a nationwide uniform network for providing free and competent legal services to the weaker sections of the society. Persons eligible for free legal services are women and children, persons with disability, member of scheduled caste or scheduled tribes, industrial workmen, persons in custody, victims of natural disasters or ethnic or caste violence or industrial disaster, victims of human trafficking or beggar, persons with an annual income of less than 1 lakh or as notified by the central or state government. So, her answer to this question is option A, 1 and 2 are correct. The resolution for removing the Vice President of India can be moved in options are Lok Sabha alone, either House of the Parliament, joint sitting of Parliament, Rajya Sabha alone. Here answer to this question is option D, Rajya Sabha alone. A resolution for removal of Vice President can be introduced only in Rajya Sabha and not in Lok Sabha. Article 67 subclause B, the Vice President cannot be formally impeached unlike the President. He can be removed by the resolution of Rajya Sabha passed by majority of all the then members of Rajya Sabha and agreed to by the Lok Sabha. So her answer to this question is option D. With reference to Constitution of India, which one of the following pairs is not correctly matched? Options are forest, concurrent list, that is correct. Stock exchange, concurrent list, that is incorrect. Post office savings banks, union list, that is correct. Public health, state list, that is correct. So her answer to this question is option B. Division of powers between union and state is notified through three kinds of lists mentioned in 7th schedule, that is union list, state list and concurrent list. Forest comes under concurrent list. Stock exchange and future markets are subject enumerated in union list. Post office saving banks comes under union list. Presently, health is under the state list. 15th Finance Commission Chairman N.K. Singh said that health should be shifted to the concurrent list under the Constitution. But now it is under state list. So her answer to this question is option B. Consider the following statements about Charter Act of 1813. Statements are, it ended the trade monopoly of East India Company in India except who trade in tea and trade with China. That is correct. It asserted the sovereignty of British Crown over the Indian territories held by the company. That is correct. The revenues of India were now controlled by British Parliament. That is incorrect. Which of the statements given above are correct? The answer to this question is option A. Statement 1 and 2 are correct. Charter Act of 1813 abolished the trade monopoly of the company in India. That is, the Indian trade was thrown open to all British merchants. However, it continued the monopoly of the company over trade in tea and trade with China. It asserted the sovereignty of British Crown over company's territories in India. So our answer to this question is option A. Consider the following statements. Statements are, the 44th Amendment to the Constitution of India introduced an article placing the election of Prime Minister beyond judicial review. That is incorrect because it was 39th Amendment. The Supreme Court of India struck down 99th Amendment to the Constitution of India as being violative of the independence of judiciary. That is correct. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? The answer to this question is option B. Statement 2 only is correct. In 1975, Parliament passed 39th Amendment Act, which removed the authority of the Supreme Court to adjudicate petitions regarding elections of the President, Vice President, Prime Minister and Speaker of Lok Sabha. Instead, a body constituted by Parliament would be vested with the power to resolve such election disputes. So, option 1 is incorrect. Through the 99th Constitutional Amendment Act 2014, the National Judicial Commission Act was established to replace the collegium system for the appointment of judges. However, the Supreme Court upheld the collegium system and struck down the NJAC as unconstitutional on the grounds that the involvement of political executive in judicial appointment was against the principle of basic structure. That is, it was against independence of judiciary. So, statement 2 is correct. So, your answer to this question is option B. The 9th schedule was introduced in the Constitution of India during the Prime Ministership of, options are Jawaharlal Nehru, Lal Bahadur Shastri, Indira Gandhi, Morarji Desai. The answer to this question is option A. Jawaharlal Nehru. The 9th schedule contains a list of central and state laws which cannot be challenged in courts and was ordered by First Constitution Amendment Act 1951 under the Prime Ministership of Jawaharlal Nehru. It was created by the new Article 31B, which along with the Article 31A was brought in the government to protect laws related to agrarian reform and for abolishing the zamindari system. So her answer to this question is option A.